Hello and thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, a NEPO meeting was held ahead of the 2013 hurricane season. An agreement was signed this week to strengthen trade and investment ties between CARICOM and the U.S., and plans are afoot to rename the St. Joseph Primary School after the late Caleb Lura. Stay with us for details of these and other stories right after this.
The facts as they are, brought to you every day. Only on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. One day before the official start of the 2013 hurricane season, various committees on the National Emergency Planning Organization NEPO met on Friday to lay hurricane preparedness plans on the table for what is expected to be an above-average hurricane season. The meeting, which was held at the Office of Disaster Management in Jimmet, was attended by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, members of his cabinet, permanent secretaries, top officials of the Dominica Police Force and the Fire and Ambulance Services, as well as the Dominica Red Cross. National Security Minister and Chairman of NEPO, Honorable Charles Savre, expounded on the rationale for Friday's meeting, emphasizing that it was not a meeting to plan.
This is not the meeting where we are going to plan for the hurricane season. This is a meeting where we are going to receive reports of the preparation that has been made in anticipation of the hurricane season, so that the various subcommittees which exist on a permanent basis would be able to inform us and each other of the activities that they have undertaken, the shortcomings that they have confronted, and the further actions that would be necessary to ensure that we are as prepared as we can possibly be for the season which is approaching.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, while appreciative of work done by the various committees in preparing for the hurricane season, would like to see a more concerted effort made by these committees to have more regular meetings. The Prime Minister noted that the issue of mitigating disasters is a serious one and that those charged with the responsibility should approach the task with the greatest level of diligence.
I am still not satisfied with our preparedness efforts. And it is reflective also in the various committees that are charged with the responsibilities as enshrined in the disaster plan, and these committees fail to meet. And those who meet 1 or 2 days before this meeting. So I'm seeing reports dated 29th and 30th and 28th of May 2013. We all know for the last 100 years or more that the hurricane season begins on June 1. So it is not a surprise for us to know that it is on June 1. And I really would like to urge those who are members of the committees to convene meetings continuously. It doesn't have to be just before the 1st of June. Because while we have a hurricane season, but the disaster committees are not only charged with preparing for hurricane season. You're charged for any event, including flooding and fires, major slides which have been occurring throughout the year.
Throughout the year, the Office of Disaster Management has been engaged in a number of sensitization programs to alert communities across the island of the various hazards which could affect them. The Prime Minister took time to commend the Office of Disaster Management and other first responders for work done in responding to disasters.
I want to commend also the efforts of Mr. Corriott, who has provided very good leadership to the office here, the office here and the staff, and to all the various agencies who are, especially the first responders, the police and the fire and ambulance service, are exceptional in terms of responding to the disasters.
The Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of Finance, informed the NEPO meeting of his government's plans to source over $50 million in loans and grants to respond to weather damage done to the east coast of the island. He said his government is still looking to source the funds from partners such as the European Union and the World Bank to build new roadways, bridges and retaining walls.
We're going to be contracting a loan from the World Bank. We have not confirmed it yet, but we're looking at it of a very huge sum to address the issues on the East Coast. We've gotten a grant from the European Union to put to that, and we're also looking at a third source to ensure that we can address the situation of the entire East Coast of Dominica, in terms of new roadways and retaining walls and river defenses, bridges. You're talking about the whole work, so you're talking about well in excess of $52 million.
Last year, Dominica was impacted by 4 weather systems which were predominantly rainfall events. The 2013 Atlantic Weather Outlook is predicting an above-average hurricane season this year, with 13 to 20 named storms, 7 to 11 hurricanes, including 3 to 6 major hurricanes. In other news, CARICOM Chairman His Excellency Michel Martelly, President of Haiti, and Joseph Biden, the Vice President of the U.S., signed a Trade and Investment Framework Agreement called TIFA on behalf of CARICOM and the United States in Port of Spain on the 28th of May. The expected result of this agreement is to strengthen trade and investment ties between CARICOM and the U.S., as this would aid in developing practical strategies on a large range of trade and investment and economic cooperation issues. The execution of this agreement will be held under the CARICOM U.S. Trade and Investment Council, led by a nominee of the CARICOM Chair and the Office of the United States Trade Representative. Areas for attention placed in the initial action agenda include matters relating to the World Trade Organization, cooperation in regional and multilateral areas, support for regional integration, cooperation to promote and respect fundamental labor rights, and workforce development, among other issues. In other news, the Dominica Council on Aging is pushing for Dominica to tap into senior citizens as a source of underutilized resources. This call comes on the occasion of the Council's 19th anniversary themed Aging, a Fountain of National Human Resource Capacity. On Friday, the organization held its 18th annual general meeting at the Fort Young Hotel under the patronage of Dominica's President, His Excellency Eliud Williams. Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, was represented by his special advisor, Edward Lambert, who expressed the sentiments of the nation's leader in commending the body for its remarkable achievements.
I join the Prime Minister in congratulating you on the occasion of your 18th annual general meeting. Voluntary organizations have had a mixed history in Dominica, and your continuous survival for 18 years is deserving of commendation. Such an achievement is testimony to the fact that the Council on Aging is responding to a real need, and that you have a constituency that is sizable, influential, and committed to your mission and vision as stated in your founding documents.
It is a little-known fact that many societies, including Dominica's, can be considered aging populations. As reported by Acting President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Zet Matuse, statistics show that the percentage of persons 60 years and over continue to increase rapidly. Tuse says this means that adequate preparation must be made by the young for their senior years.
This fact bears many implications for the country, since resources must be obtained if older persons are to age healthily and gracefully. Families are being called upon to take up their responsibilities in caring for their elders. Government cannot provide all necessary resources, both human and financial, to meet the growing needs of our elderly population. It behooves the younger generation to take stock of their lives and prepare for the golden years so as to ensure that when the time comes, they will be able to provide for their own care and sustenance.
Featured speaker at the event was Dorothy Levy, a past board member and active affiliate of the council. Mrs. Levy delivered an address highlighting the practical ways through which senior citizens demonstrate their value. She considers older persons fountains of knowledge.
As one grows older, one becomes a sort of storehouse of memories and experiences which will be beneficial to the nation, so that collectively the aging population becomes a fountain overflowing with knowledge, a bank on which the nation can draw inspiration as well as information. I want us to look at some aspects associated with aging. The word longevity is a word with which we have become very familiar, mainly because of the recognition of our high number of centenarians and the attendant publicity. We were told this morning that there are 24 and that we expect 3 more to join the ranks within the next few months. People are living longer today, and the writer put it this way: there is rising concern worldwide over the impending rise in the number of elderly who will inhabit the planet in the next 20 years.
The event also served as a platform to recognize a sterling example of healthy aging in the person of Frederick Williams of Collyho. Frederick, who was born in 1912, was presented with a hamper compliments the Council on Aging. GIS will bring you more from that meeting in subsequent newscasts. And over 150 young people graduated on Wednesday from 4 skills training modules facilitated by the Youth Development Division. The 40th graduation ceremony of the Youth Skills Training Program was held at the Arawak House of Culture. The young graduates completed training in computer literacy, computer maintenance, building maintenance, furniture repair, and arc welding. Acting Chief Youth Development Officer John Roach says Wednesday's graduation is a tangible demonstration of the success of the Youth Skills Training Program.
In the initial years of the program, youth interest and participation in all training modules were tremendous. Linkages and partnerships were forged with international donors and local businesses. Despite increasing economic challenges over the years, the commitment of successive governments ensured the survival of the program, which eventually became a household name in Dominica. And almost every young artisan of this era has been impacted in one way or another by this God-sent program, the Youth Skills Training Program.
During the 4 to 6 month program, participants were introduced to technical and character development skills. 2 of the participants are inmates of the Dominica State Prison, and both in their own way describe the positive impact of the program on their lives.
When I commenced this program, it was fascinating to see how old, broken furniture could be restored to the original form with such easy effort. This training, although tough at sometimes, taught me how to work as a team. It instilled in me a lot of discipline. The completion of each item brought great satisfaction to me and my team. Every member of the team admired the product, and the look on our faces spoke volumes. Some people stated that we would not have completed the training. However, we rose above all odds and proved them wrong. We learned from their comments and this training that self-determination, self-confidence, and support can lead to great success. The greatest lesson I learned from this old furniture is that they were once new and were cherished, and over the years they were used and abused. Some got broken, some got scratched, some even lost an arm or a leg, and some got so beaten up that there was no chance of repair. They would have been sent to the dump, where they would have been left to be decayed. However, with a little glue, some nails, maybe some screws, sandpaper, and a coat of fresh varnish, these old furniture became brand new.
In my life, this is my story. In my life, I was given the opportunity in my life to do something positive. In my life, before I joined this program with Youth Division, when a misery was a lion. Youth Division taught me to believe in myself in so many different ways I did not know. Now I feel the joy and happiness since I became friends with Youth Division. Respect and discipline are cultivated.
Meanwhile, Minister for Culture, Youth Affairs and Sports, Honorable Justina Charles, has applauded the organizers and graduates of the Youth Skills Training Program. She encouraged other young people to register for the various modules and to take advantage of the various opportunities provided for young people by the current administration.
Training modules over the 31 years include relevant and quality skills training, namely woodwork, carpentry, welding, culinary arts, electronics, among a variety of other skills. These extend to labor market information, career guidance, and employment services, recognition of prior learning, incorporating entrepreneurship with training and effective skill focusing.
We'll bring you more details of the 40th graduation ceremony of the Youth Skills Training Program in a subsequent newscast. In more news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has called on the officials of the Basic Needs Trust Fund program to consider utilizing the skills of residents of the various communities where they are funding projects. The Dominica leader made the appeal as he addressed the official launch of the BNTF7 program on Wednesday.
It defeats the purpose if a resource center is being constructed in Capuchin for somebody from Scottshead to be the contractor, bringing all his men to the community, and the unemployed youth in Capuchin are simply watching on. It will not allow them to take ownership of the project, and in cases where you require basic maintenance to be done, they will not offer their services. And we will have a counter effect of the Basic Needs Trust Fund. So I'm hoping that this will fall on fertile ears.
And the plans are to rename the St. Joseph Primary School after prominent sports personality and former Member of Parliament, the late Caleb John Lora. Parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru, told GIS News that the sterling contributions of Lora to his community and Dominica has made him an ideal person after which the school should be named.
The Cabinet of Dominica has taken a decision to have the St. Joseph Junior School renamed in the honor of the late Caleb John Lora. It was at the inauguration of the last sitting of the St. Joseph Village Council as a Member of Parliament. I made the announcement that the Cabinet have taken a decision. And true to my word, we have indeed taken that decision to have that school renamed. As we are aware, Mr. Caleb Lora was a past Member of Parliament for the St. Joseph constituency. He served under the Freedom Party. He also served in his capacity as chairman of the St. Joseph Village Council. And as a member for several years, he was an outstanding sports personality in the community, molding a lot of young men in becoming great sporting icons from the community, as well as in his capacity as a member of the reunion committee and several other roles that he played, indicative of the man and the character that he was in the community of St. Joseph. And of course, I'm very pleased as a Member of Parliament to have the institution being named after him.
Honorable Daru says the contributions of the late Caleb Lora continue to be appreciated by members of the constituency and they are supportive of the decision.
Many of the residents of the community of St. Joseph, as well as his wife, they're very pleased with the decision, knowing the impact that Mr. Lora had in the community of St. Joseph. He also played an integral role in designing the emblem of the St. Joseph Junior School, as well as the setting up of a steel pan orchestra in the community, where several students who attend that school were in fact participants in that school orchestra. And I believe that the school being named in his honor is a great mark that will be left in the community in honor of Mr. Lora.
The official renaming ceremony is planned for September in time for the start of the new school year. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle Creole. Non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le ministre agriculture a avancé le travail contre les citrus greening disease en pays là. Maladie ça là a bien dommagé d'Aoui citrus depuis l'année 2012. Quand même si l'officier quarantine, ministre agriculture Ryan Ansem, habitants supposés suivre WEG à de manière détruire mauvais maladie ça là.
Citrus greening disease, c'est une maladie, c'est une bactérie qui affecte les citrus. Et ça qui affecte les wine, citron, toutes ces bagailles ça là. So ça nous fait, nous taper maladie, nous mettons en rapid response strategy en place. Et stratégie ça là, qui parle pour nous éliminer toute maladie. Pieds citron, pieds zoin, qui n'est maladie ça là, nous n'est pour éliminer tout ça. Et il en Tibet, ça qui est un vecteur en anglais, qui a transmis maladie ça là, tout en Dominique. Et nous avons un programme en place pour nous regarder comment nous contrôler les maladies ça là. Et ça nous a fait, nous a mené ça qui est parasitoïde. Ça c'est un Tibet pour gommer contre vecteur. Et nous avons mené 50 000 ça à Dominique. Et University Florida qui a aidé nous avec ça. Et troisième stratégie à nous avons fait quarantine. Nous avons dit nous parler mener citrus, plant citrus en place qui n'est maladie. So programme ça là même qu'à travail. Et comme ça nous avons fait un programme à Pointe-Michel, nous avons fait ça en Wesley, nous avons fait nous avons contrôlé les maladies à Pointe-Michel, nous avons fait ça en Wesley, nous avons fait ça en toute Dominique. Ça nous les démons. Si nous pas fait ça, maladie ça là c'est plus mauvaise maladie tout en la terre en citrus. En Miami en Florida, il a détruit citrus industry en Florida. Ça a compté millions de dollars dans Florida. Et pour en Dominique, nous savons citrus important en Dominique et pour nous avons fait travail ça là.
La nouvelle, messieurs, mesdames, le gouvernement Dominique a créé à ces populations-là pour préparer quoi qu'on nous a rentré saison cyclone. Parole celle-là sortie du ministère des As, Honorable Charles Savren.
C'est pour ça que fait au là où aller. Sous comme c'est des cailloux même partout sur condom. Et bien autant il y a un mauvais temps, un gros vent, un hurricane qui vient. Au là où pour un soukou. Avec pour nous tenir ça à créer hurricane shelters en place toute communauté. Ça nous mettons ça à la newspaper pour tout le monde connaître où la hurricane shelter yo. Avec ou pas qu'à respirer temps cool temps là même assis pour sortir au là où et aller en shelter là parce que si ou même qui si un gros vent caillou piqué doubout avec bagaille comme ça, eh bien, c'est pour déjà tenir, eh bien, toute famille ou tous les enfants, c'est pour connaître où la yo qui est. Si vous tenez bête, bête maoué, bête bol la rivière, bagaille comme ça, bol la mer, c'est pour soit large yo, quitter yo faire pour yo même aller taper soukou, ou pour même tirer yo où la yo yé, bord la rivière, bord la mer, eh bien, mettez yo où la qui plus haut. Comme ça, gros lame là, mais puis que point yo, si la rivière jambée, bagaille comme ça, il peut affecter yo.
En autre nouvelle, ministre employement ni plaisir d'autres modules pour jeunesse en pays là. Parole Salah sorti au ministre Employment Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre. Ministre McIntyre fait parole Salah au ligne des programmes orientation que le ministre a lancé qu'a concerné Culinary Arts Plibonnet Simen Salah.
Nous avons différentes qualités modules nous parler comme si des bail tiling bail pour faire furniture, steel bending, nous déjà fait on a commencé à mettre wash à place, nous avons partenaire puis différents ministries à Dominique pour garder toutes ces places là gouvernement build en place sur nous ça pour jeunes monde train you et bien ça fait travail là associé bail ça. So aujourd'hui à mon contact avec ce bail nous avons courir pour faire tout jeune monde Dominique taper en travail. Là, c'est le monde qui est sérieux. Il y a le monde qui n'est pas sérieux, mais le monde qui est sérieux, avec eux, le fait un travail. Venez parler pour nous. Le gouvernement, ça, c'est Dominique qui est battu. Nous bien sérieux, nous qui sommes la maison, nous faisons taper une manière pour occuper corps, employment pour taper l'argent, pour couper corps pour la vie.
Et puis finalement, spectacle Nature Island Challenge, qui Trust National White Kubule, été organisé, ça a été un succès. Parole Salah, sorti au manager opération Trust National White Kubule, Mademoiselle Roselyne Paul.
Semaine passée, était un Nature Island Challenge. C'est non challenge là. À cette là, il y a 16 moun, 4 groupes à cette là, United States of America, l'Amérique, des hot Trinidad, yon hot Antigua, car oui, on va marcher vite à cette là. Mais il aussi une chance pour yo apprendre culture Dominique. So yo technique pour faire différents bagages pour à cette là, on la ka promettre héritage Dominique. Ça marche bien et yo tout dit c'est Dominique qui se place pour première place pour mon venir si vous voulez hike mais si vous voulez aussi belleté naturelle à la terre. Dominique, c'est pays pour y venir.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Scary. Everything just shaking and making big creaky noises.
Earthquakes, big and small, take place in the Caribbean at least 10 times a year.
The dishes rattling and falling and breaking, then Vonnie started to scream.
All I could think to do was shout, "Get outside, get out!"
Earthquakes, hazards, take control, reduce your loss. If an earthquake hits, what can you do? Get down, get under an item of furniture like a table. Hold on and stay there until the quake passes. Find out lots more about earthquakes and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from your National Disaster Office and Sidera.
Coming up next, your tip for the day. A way to accept the things you cannot change is to do what you love, even if only on the weekends. Write, listen to music, or get out into nature. Whatever it is that inspires you, do it. Then you can more easily accept for now with those parts of your life that are not very inspiring. And that's all for National Focus today. We welcome your suggestions and comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on Facebook and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.